state of mind, actually. Go as a 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 state of mind, actually. Hello and welcome to the Racing Club UK podcast. We're recording this 13th of February 2021, and primarily we are looking at the recap of last night's game. It was Banfield 2, Racing Club de Avellaneda, the finest football club the world has ever seen, 0. My name is Darren Paul, joined alongside, as ever, the man with the plan, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, Nacho Tierno, causing a scene. How you doing this evening, Nacho?
I'm good, Darren. Thank you. Despite the results that we just saw on the screen, but yeah, I'm doing well. All good.
Yeah, I mean the game's out of my mind, but the result was there in clear. And all the way from, I assume, sunny, but probably quite chilly Canada. You know him from Racing France. It's Rod. Rod, how have you been? It's been forever since we played.
I think you can see that it was forever from my hair, but otherwise, I'm still crying from the departure from Lisha and Milito. But what can I say? We have to move forward and let's see what this season will bring us. But at this moment, yeah, pretty sad.
Shall we? Let's take it from the very top, I suppose. We have a new technical director, or director technical, Juan Antonio Pizzi. We have a new head coach, essentially, coming in. He has replaced Becca Sexy, along with a lot of other changes, including Mago Capria coming in, and he's replaced Diego Milito. But has he replaced Diego Milito fully? We're going to get into that in just a moment. But Nacho, let's just talk quickly about the new coach, Juan Antonio Pizzi. What's your takeaways?
I think it's a manager with quite a good pedigree. If we look at his CV, he won a couple of titles. He was very successful in Chile with U Católica, winning the league there. And he, I think all the Argentinian people remember him for his success with Chile as well, the national team, winning one Copa America, and with San Lorenzo also winning. I can't remember if it was an apertura or a clausura, but he won a league with San Lorenzo. I guess there's maybe it's something to clarify there that he was the champion with the lowest quantity of points earned in a season.
Was that the 2014?
It was 2013, I'm going to say. I think it was my first year in the UK. I think it was the first champion after I moved to UK.
So I think that was the summer championship.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Rod, what is your takeaway with Juan Antonio Pizzi? Do you like the signing or the addition?
I think Nacho said a lot of things about the new technical director. I mean, I will say he's not a bad guy. I think he has some talent. We saw his career. He did so many clubs, so many teams. I think he was with Saudi Arabia a few years ago. He had some titles. I think we will not see the same guy than BKCC on the sideline, like shaking on the left side and going on the right side, and it's another type of character for the Racing. Let's see how it goes with the new sportive director too, that signed just for 1 year. That's another thing that we will see. It's pretty new for the club. These two new guys. At this moment, I can't say anything about how it will be a great guy or it will be bad with the result that we saw yesterday. Let's see how it goes in the upcoming weeks, months, if he has the time. So yeah.
Nacho, it's been a little while since we've spoken on the pod, so we've not really summed up the end of the Becca Sese reign, the embarrassing way we went out of the Copa Libertadores, and I don't feel good saying that, but it's true. It was a terrible way to go out of any competition. In the last game, that Licha, I think that was the last game Leach ever played for a Racing club.
No, he played one more match as part of the Copa Diego Maradona. So we beat Newell's and Leach scored. So yeah, he had the chance to play one more match, and luckily he said goodbye scoring a goal, which is very Leach, I guess.
I mean, it's a lot better than how in my head it has all ended. So that's positive at least.
No, but I think that's the feeling. I think everyone knows that the Becasese era ended at La Bombonera, and it didn't end in a good way. And I feel like although we got to quarterfinals, I think we were lucky to get to quarterfinals. I think against Flamengo, we got lucky in Rio. We just went through on penalty shooter, but we could have been eliminated easily. And then with Boca, we did an okay match at home and a horrible match away. I think that's it is what it is.
I was sat there with my new puppy watching that game, being like, "Hello, dog. You don't understand this concept. In fact, you're asleep. But here is football. Here is Racing Club Derbyshire, the greatest club in the world." I was just like, "Dog, go to sleep. You can't watch this. This is bad."
But you know, the level of the Argentinian football decreased, not a lot, but decreased. We saw it just with the Libertadores. I talked about it on Twitter. Even in general, for me, the level in South America decreased. Maybe Brazil is still a little bit above the average level. Even if we saw it during the World Cup, not the World Cup, but the Champion Cup. What's the name of this in Qatar?
The Club World Cup.
Yeah, the Club World Cup. We saw the level too from Brazil. They didn't score one goal. They were like eliminated on penalty.
Yeah, I think Palmeiras were knackered. They play almost 60 games since football restart. By the time they got to Qatar, they were absolutely trashed. And I think we saw the same in the Libertadores final. The two teams didn't have any more legs. I think the calendar has killed South American football. I think it was a mental calendar. It's really difficult to. I don't think it was a normal Libertadores Cup. Let's see. I agree that standard is not great at the moment in South America. I think the pandemic has played a big part of the current level. Let's see what happens in the next Libertadores. But I still think teams are going to struggle because it's still unusual how everything is happening. The calendar is so loaded with matches that I don't know. You need such a big squad to compete in league and cup that I don't know. I think Racing is going to struggle as well.
And with this type of calendar, that I still don't understand how it's working for the second edition of this Maradona Cup. Like
no one knows.
Play another game from last year. It's oh my god! It's Argentina. I mean, it's unbelievable. I still don't understand the new way of playing with the new teams, the one that have to go on the second division. Crazy. But yeah, to come back to Racing, the level decrease. We saw it against Boca. It wasn't a good game. The match in Avellaneda or in Boca was really bad. It was a really bad publicity for the Argentinian league. It was really.
Yeah, it was. I can take, as I've said on this podcast a number of times before, I can take losing. I can. As a fan, I don't get super mad at a loss. I try and see things in perspective, okay? I can't stand a lackluster attempt, though. It's like, dude, just try. And at times, it didn't feel like we were getting that. And in that Boca game, it wasn't, maybe try is not the right word, but attack, try and win the game, damn it. And again, and we won't get on to last night just yet, but similar story. Very similar story for me. In terms of, as you say, Rod, in terms of the new championship that we're now in, this was round one. Kaz Bullock of the Kaz and Daz show every Thursday, women's basketball, Focus Hoops. I sent her a text being, hey, check out our new graphics for this. She was like, oh, you lost last night. I tried to see if this was bad in the grand scheme of things, but I don't understand. I'm like, Kaz, I don't understand. and I followed this league since 2011, and now I've given up trying to work out what's going on. I'm going to let Nacho work it out and tell us all, because I haven't got a bloody clue anymore.
It's not the league actually. It's a league cup. So the winner of this competition, it won't count as a league. So it's what we call a league cup, and I think it's a consequence of still. I think that the people running AFA hasn't figured out whether they want to go with a 20-team first division, whether they want to go with a 30-team first division. I think we're still in that kind of transition where we try to move from 30 teams to 20 teams, but that hasn't happened yet. Plus now, because of the pandemic, there's not going to be any relegation, so we will go back to 26 teams, I think, pretty soon. It's all very confusing. I think there's also some political things. I think the TV wants a 20 teams league. I think the clubs want more teams in the first division because that means more money for some clubs. So it's all still very, very unclear. What we know is that we are going to have a League Cup, which is the one that started yesterday, until during the first part of the year. I can't remember if it's May or June. And in the second part of the year, we will start our Primera División, which is a league. It will be basically a traditional format, but only you play one team each time. You don't play home and away. And that will be it. In total, it will be a season of 38 matches for a team. So I guess what they are trying to replicate with that is the normal kind of quantity of matches that a 20 teams league with home and away matches would represent. I think that's the most simple way to explain it, but I'm not sure it was clear.
So,
but there is still game. There is still a game to play, no? From last year.
I think there is one that might decide a Sudamericana, a place in the Sudamericana. I'm not sure.
The final.
It's the final of the losers round, basically.
Yeah. Who is that? Is it?
It's not Banfield. No, it's not Banfield again.
It's Vélez. It's Vélez
against.
And I can't remember. Sorry.
I think it's.
I'm going to check. I'm going to check because I can't remember.
Uncle Google to the rescue.
Banfield. See, Vélez against Banfield.
Okay.
No, Banfield lost the final, so it cannot be Banfield.
No, I think, was it not double elimination?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, you're right. It's Vélez against Banfield to decide a place in the
Sudamericana.
Yeah, but Vélez qualified for the Libertadores, so I don't know what they are playing for.
Play for pride, Nacho. Play for pride.
Okay.
Sudamericana 2022. They are saying.
No. Oh, okay, it's fine.
Maybe for the next.
I give up.
If you're new to all this whole absolute shower has been determined because Julio Grondona in late 2014, early 2015, made the decision, 30-team tournament, let's do it, and everyone's just like, Julio, yeah, great shout, Julio. That's all.
This guy.
Then he passed away. Okay, which is sad. Then this was a week before the tournament was supposed to get underway. Then all the teams are like, do we still have to do this 30-team madness that we all said was sound because Julio had all the money? And then they did, and it was awesome, actually. I loved it. I was a big fan of it. I enjoyed the promotion, triangular tournaments. It was madness. But commit, lads. Either bin off 10 sides or chuck a few more in. Okay, get Ferro into the top flight just by hook or by crook. I don't care how. Just one way or the other. Just make a decision.
Well, I guess, I mean, I understand the argument behind Argentina trying to have a more federal tournament. So if you read the book from Wilson, Angel with Dirty Faces, you will understand why a traditional league of 20 teams in Argentina might not be able to represent the entire nation. because football is and the economic power is concentrated in Buenos Aires, and and that means that the league end up being a league of Buenos Aires plus some other things, right? So historically, they've been different attempts to find a format that is more federal, that represents the club outside Buenos Aires. So I completely get that argument, and I'm not against that. But I wish it would be only that argument, and that argument then becomes a political battle, and basically we never find the right format, and we have never been able to find it.
So also, that argument completely falls down because look at the teams that got promoted. Okay, you had the bus company from up north,
Crucero del Norte.
Crucero del Norte, who I absolutely love watching, and I miss them. So please come back to a higher division. And then it was a bunch of teams from around like Buenos Aires, pretty much, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's the problem. That is the problem, and I get the point. I get the point that we want to have a national tournament rather than a Buenos Aires tournament, and you need maybe you need to play around with the format a little bit to make that happen. But I mean, we have what 70 years of football, and we haven't been able to get it right. So I don't know what to say.
Bring back alumni. That's what we have to say. Okay.
Exactly.
So it's a new era. We've got tournaments that make some kind of sense, but honestly, let's just enjoy each game as it comes. That's going to be my mentality for a little bit at least. So we've done Juan Antonio Pizzi. We move on to Mago Capri's first window, and I alluded to it earlier. He doesn't have the same sort of overview and power as the Prince himself, Diego Milito.
No, he doesn't. He's just like a kind of a football advisor kind of thing. So he will advise on any matters around the first team, like signings and squad and the manager and all that. But he will not have the same kind of responsibilities, because Milito used to run also the academy, and they used to have a technical area that used to be the kind of the key input for recruitment, etc. There's nothing similar to that. It's a completely different role. It's more an advisory role and a kind of link between Pizzi and the board, if you want.
I was going to say, who is he like answering to? Is it Blanco? Is it the board? Like...
No, he reports into Claudio Úbeda, who basically he's kind of the head of the entire project, so kind of the director of football, if you want to call it. And then Úbeda reports into, I guess, the board.
So now we remember he was caretaker manager for a couple of games before Facundo Sava. Obviously a bit of a legend at the club. I think that's fair to say. He's
definitely one of the players with most quantity of matches played for Racing. Definitely within the top 10.
So all of a sudden,
he used to be the manager of the reserve team. Sorry.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you for reminding me of that. So all of a sudden, I feel a bit better about the situation, but it's still, I don't know. Rod, what's your take?
I wrote an article from him from the Argentinian press yesterday. That's the strange thing. Yeah, the odd thing is he just signed at this moment for 1 year, and he had asked to the board from the Racing to add like a how can I say it, like in his contract it says that the Racing
clause,
the clause that he can't ask the Racing can't ask him to be the technical director, to be the coach. So that was really odd for me. It's like if Pizzi is fired, they can't ask him to be the coach.
Yeah, I get Capria is what he's trying with that is to be very clear that he's not coming to the club with other ambitions, rather to what his role is. So in a way, what he's doing is preventing any kind of ideas behind or conspiracy theories that it's actually he's there just waiting for Pizzi to fail so that he can be in charge of the first team. I
But
guess that's the idea.
results, they were pretty bad. So it's good that because he was just a coach of a second or third club before, and they were he was fired or he just decided to leave because the results were really bad. So yeah, I think he's protecting himself because he knows that he goes to the bench of Racing, and especially when you have people coming back to the Cilindro, I think it would be like, man, if I'm if I'm doing it wrong, I would just be fired, and I don't want to finish. So I think he wants to protect himself from this because he's a really bad coach at this moment.
Yeah, I think he has. I think he managed Atlanta for a while. He wasn't successful. Look, I actually think he's quite a genuine and nice guy. I had the chance to interview him during lockdown. I think he actually, it's a good guy. It's a genuine guy, and he wants to stay away from any kind of controversy. I don't think he's interested in any kind of coaching career anymore, and because he probably realized that wasn't for him, and he is into kind of technical director, that kind of. I think he has ambitions on that. He had a previous role in Uruguay, which it wasn't very successful either. But let's see. I mean, so far it's early days to say. We love him as a player. I think he's a nice guy, and I wish him the best at the club.
So let's have a look at the business he has done. So signed. Now, by my count, 3 players. Maximiliano Lovera from Olympiacos in Greece. We have Tomas Chankalai from Colón, the Santa Fe. And Ezekiel Scalotto from Brighton, though I think technically
it was a free transfer, no?
Free agent.
But we got to mention Premier League, okay? We've got to get it's for clicks. No, seriously, no. You guys played in the Prem, so that's pretty great. And then a bunch of youth promotions. But am I missing anybody there?
It hasn't been officially announced, but the signing of pretty much everyone is saying that's confirmed. Aníbal Moreno, so the Newell's Old Boys midfielder, also under 20. I mean, a really interesting project as a kind of box-to-box midfielder. Remember that probably less than 2 years ago, he was targeted by River and Boca. So he's a big name. Probably a bit of a gamble as well because he hasn't performed well in the last 6 months. But who has performed well in the last 6 months? Right? I mean, so it's a big.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Yeah, it's a big name. If it's confirmed, it will be a big transfer.
Now, it says on my favorite website, transfermarkt.com, that Rodrigo Schlegel, he of penalty shootout goalkeeping fame, and somebody I always sign on Pro Evolution Soccer, his loan ended with Orlando City. Will we finally get to see Schlegel?
No, I think he was. They actually executed the option to buy him, so he's gone.
I don't know why are you happy? Why do you not like
MLS? Thank you, MLS. Sometimes, even if currently they are doing some great job taking some great players from Argentina and Brazil and other, but sometimes they are always like, take this guy, 15 million. Okay, I think it's pretty good. Let's take him.
What's your problem with Schlegel?
South America.
Yeah, well, I don't think he performed well the couple of matches he managed to play for the first team, but also he was too young. You never know.
So they took him. They took him seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Let me see.
He's gone.
Oh my God, that's good. Good. This guy. Oh my God! They didn't have a pack him with Soto and Pichud, no?
No? Okay, all right. Somebody's leaving the chat. Someone's getting ready for the goal.
Don't touch Pichud.
Sorry, mate. that would be club captain Ivan Alexis captain for Pichut.
I know.
I'm sure we will get into the performance from yesterday, and we will have time to discuss individual performances.
It's
Nobody played well yesterday.
I mean, going back to the transfers, Darren, what are your thoughts on
I mean, again, I think Scalotto's an interesting signing. You know, obviously coming from the Premier League, he has suffered injury troubles in the past. Coming in at right back, he's a slightly younger option than Pichut, but not by a huge amount. But I think that's a pretty exciting signing. I mean, it's a name as well, which is, you know, gets people a bit excited. Chankalai, firstly, great name. Secondly,
did a good job yesterday.
Yeah, he was a real bright spark. So if that's gonna be him, awesome. Very excited by that.
I think Chankalai has a lot of Chankalai, Lovera, and Moreno are from the same kind of generation. They played together at the Argentina under-20, and they are three good talents that I think Moreno actually probably performed in the first division slightly better than Chankalai, and Lovera left really young, but he had a couple of good seasons with Central. So I think they're interesting signings. I think they're very young. But I guess it's the right way to go because the squad was aging a little bit, so I guess there's some logic behind.
Yeah. I mean, the positions they're filling, I don't think are the oldest position. Well, actually, I tell a lie. Lovera is a striker and he's 21 years old, which, given our striking core, is all in its 30s pretty much, except for Raniero, who I don't know if he even counts as a footballer right now. Like, I don't know. I'm still waiting to see him, and I'm still waiting to see it from Matías Rojas. Like, these guys, this is last roll of the dice for these guys at Racing. Like, I need to see it because I've not seen it at all, especially from Raniero.
I think Raniero actually did well under Becasese until he got injured.
Yeah,
I think actually before the pandemic started, Raniero was probably the best player under Becasese. He was so unfortunate.
Says what I know.
He got a really bad injury, which actually I suffer from that injury as well. It's pubalgia basically, which is a sport hernia, and it can go forever and ever. And you actually lose pace, you lose power, and you can see it's a completely different player. I feel sorry for him. I think I still have a lot of hopes on him. I think he's a very talented player. But yeah, since football restarted, he hasn't been any good.
Yeah, and you had the COVID-19 cases situation for some players, I think, few weeks ago in Racing, so this can impact a lot. I don't know who was. Do we know at the end? I don't remember who was.
Dominguez got COVID. No, Neri Dominguez. The other Dominguez.
Fabrizio.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. I think for the transfer window at this moment, it's pretty good. Let's see. I think we have just to fix if the guy from Newell's is coming. I think we just have to fix the situation from Soto and
Mena.
Yeah, if he's staying, if he wants to go back to Chile, we have to fix it as soon as possible. We'll talk about the game after, so I don't want to say anything. But I think when we fix this situation, I think it will be more or less it will be good. I don't think we will come back to a situation with like players like Lautaro and this type of level. But the only thing we will have to find it's a good leader, because if something was missing yesterday, it's a leader. We don't have a leader that since Lisha left, you can see it. There's a guy that can be like, okay, you know what? Let's go. And we do something. Yesterday was just like we play for us, and that's it. If we lose, we lose, and let's see the next week. So yeah. But
again, the one thing that gives me a lot of hope, confidence, as well as the signings that are coming, which I think I'm liking so far. Certainly what I've seen of them, and yesterday's performance from Chankalai in particular,
and the other, the two new guys. They were good, Chankalai and Lovero.
Lovera.
Yeah, they did well.
And all the kids that we saw come through at the end of last season as well. Like some really good performances there, some really interesting, exciting players coming through. Do we still have Benjamin Garay?
Yeah, he's injured.
Should, no? Yeah.
Okay.
He had a surgery on his knee. His injury was, I don't know how to say in English, Darren, so excuse me. It would be osteochondritis. Probably in English it's a similar name.
And do we know how many times he will be?
He will be out until end of March, I think.
Okay, that's not disastrous.
Yeah, similar timing to Diaz, probably.
Okay. Of course, yeah, you got Diaz to come back. So I think, for the most part, fairly positive, fairly happy. That left back position is a disaster. It's a disaster, and disaster. Is there any more on Mago's first window?
I think they're talking about 2 more signings. So one is going to be a centre back. They're talking about Novillo, which is a centre back from Belgrano de Córdoba. I haven't seen him play, so I don't have any opinions. And the other position that they were talking about, maybe going for a signing because now Cristaldo has left.
I want to talk about that.
Cristaldo is going to Newell's, so that means that they might look for a striker. The names that have been like going around in social media, which I'm not sure we can trust, but whatever. It's 2 names. It's Fontana from Banfield, who didn't play yesterday because he refused to renew his contract. So basically, Banfield authorities decided to send him to the reserve team so that he's not training with a professional team.
Perfect. That's the kind of person you want in your club.
And the other name that's been kind of mentioned is Ponce, who is a former Newell's striker who is performing really, really well in the Russian league.
Okay.
Spartak.
Okay.
Who had a really good season at Spartak, and before that, he had a really good season at Olympiacos, I think. I'm not sure.
And
in Greece.
And Melgarejo used to play for Spartak, so he can just pop a little message.
Exactly, it might be. So those are the names, but I mean, I think they're talking about a striker and a centre back. They are not mentioning a centre mid, a defensive centre mid, although I think we should look into that.
Who was the best player in the Chilean league when Juan Antonio Pizzi won the league with Universidad Católica?
That was a long time ago. It was probably Marcelo Diaz. But Marcelo Diaz is with the Chile.
Wait. Not Católica.
No.
Did Pizzi not win it with Católica?
Pizzi won it with Católica, but Marcelo Diaz used to play for...
Was that 2 years ago? Was it the one 2 years ago?
No, that was
before.
It was a long time ago.
Okay.
So Católica, we still have
I'm going to say 2010.
Oh, God. Right.
10 years ago. Yeah.
The proof was Diaz then. Okay. Shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, wait, no, that's next week's. My bad. Banfield 2, Racing 0, 12th February 2021. Kicked off at like 10:15 UK time, so I was absolutely thrilled watching it. Just opening thoughts on the game. Obviously, a 2-0 loss. This sounds terrible. I didn't even write down who scored the 2 goals, especially the second one. I did get the first one written down.
Galoppo scored it.
And Alvarez, an absolute. And here are my notes verbatim: goal Banfield. I don't know why I don't know. Alvarez, a gift from Soto, ball over the top, low finish. It was a really good finish. Absolutely zero. Gabi Arias, the greatest keeper in South America, could have done about it. But yes, it was about bad if I just have a little moan for like 30 seconds? Is that okay? It was terrible. Last night was terrible. It was so painful to watch. I thought the lineup looked fine. The shape, like, laid out, okay, made sense. And then just nothing. No attacking impetus. 3 shots on target. I know Abeleda kills us every time we play him, but good Lord, at least have a shot. Have an attempt from closer than 20, 25 yards. I don't know. And the defending, diabolical, shambolic. We got let off the hook within about 2 minutes. I think there was an offside call where if that flag doesn't go up, we are on toast. Before the Arias save on 34 minutes, which was save of the millennium or of the weekend, whichever. Wonderful save. He's so good.
One that he came off the line really quickly.
Yeah. The thing where I genuinely mean this, Rod. I want to know your opinion. Maybe I'm mad. I genuinely think he's the best keeper in the world coming off his line. That is a sincere belief. I'm not even being a troll merchant right now. It's like him. It's like Neuer, and I don't know who else does it quite to that same level.
Yeah, I think he's very athletic, and he's so.
He's one of the best.
Yeah, he's
the best player. He's the best player of the Racing since many times. Yeah. So that's bad news when the goalkeeper is the best player of your team. But even at OS, he did what he could. He's the best. Yesterday, if you have to find a good player for Racing, that's him.
It was him.
There's nobody else.
We could have been down to 10 men at that point. I've made a note here that Cabrera of Banfield looks like a pound shop he should.
Thinking, just because I'm thinking about it, one player, I wanted to have your point of view, because for me, he's a kind of player like Brian Mancilla in the past. Some players that you are like, that's the guy that will do something like him, like Lautaro. Cuadrado. Quadra. What do you think? I in the past I was like, this guy will do the same as the other player that came from the youth team and everything. And yesterday again I was like, okay, I think the past.
It's hard. It's hard for Quadra. I think I agree with you. I think when he started playing for the first team, he looked like a really interesting project. But things haven't worked out for him. He has a couple of loans, Gimnasia and other teams that didn't work out for him. Apparently, he had a quite good year in Chile. That last
but he was a second. I checked. He was a second division team. No,
I'm not sure. I think it was first division. But and actually, Colo-Colo, there's some rumors that Colo-Colo might be interesting still.
I thought he was in a second team alone, or maybe it was.
But I agree. I think he hasn't been able to perform for Racing, and I think unfortunately he's running out of time. And with the signings with Lovera, Chancalay, and
even Alcaraz, I like.
If they bring another striker, then I think he's going to struggle to get some minutes. So I wonder whether there's any kind of sense in keeping him and stopping his career, which it looked like he was making some progress in Chile. So bring him back and not give him any minutes, it sounds like a pretty poor decision, I think.
Yeah. Completely unspectacular yesterday. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I don't have the same analyst eye that Nacho does, and yourself, and my God, certainly not as much as Andrew. Jeez, that guy. But I just didn't notice him. I didn't notice so many Racing players. I noticed Soto. I noticed Gabi Arias.
Yeah. Melga.
That was it, pretty much. Oh, and then Chancalay when he came on.
Yeah. I still like Melga. Maybe yesterday wasn't his game, but I still like, especially last year, what he did. I still think he's a good player. Yesterday, not so many players were like were great, but this guy I like.
No, don't get me wrong. This isn't me writing off an entire squad and saying they're all crap. I'm just saying that yesterday, I didn't see anything from a lot
I,
of
I, I was going to say that. I think just trying to analyze individual performances, it could be a mistake because for a while we've been seeing the team not performing as a team, and I think yesterday we saw the same kind of flat performance, slow passing, lack of firing power in a way that we've been seeing since last 3 months of Codet. And I think this squad, and I was watching the match and I was remembering that last match from Codet against Lanús, and I was like, this is exactly that type of performance. And I was wondering whether there's something else, and I don't know what. But as a team, we've been showing these problems for quite a long time. Becasese managed to get a couple of good performances here and there, but with never convincing performances. So in a way, I think it's quite hard to try to conclude on whether a player has a future in the team or not. A players like Rojas, Reñero, because I don't think they've been surrounded by the right context. So I don't know. I really struggle with that. I'm not sure whether it's a team thing, whether individual performances, but there's something going on that has been around for quite a while. And I can now I understand why Capri and Pizzi are trying to rebuild the team, bringing new signings. I think that is what they saw.
Shall we talk about the goals? Let's talk about the first goal. Again, like I said, Alvarez. So just a ball hoiked over the top. Soto just didn't deal with it. He control it and then just utterly miscontrolled it. Alvarez dove all over it and just buried it, slotted it. Very, very professional finish. Past Arias.
Can I say something about Soto? I think what happened to Soto yesterday, it's typical from a player who has, at the moment, lost every single element of confidence in his game. Look, we can argue whether you like Soto or not. I think he's getting so much abuse in social media that I feel sorry for the guy. I think, and actually, it's a guy that under Code performed okay. So this is not his level, right? Let's agree that this is like below even his standards. And I think that the coach Pizzi should look into that and see if there is a way to recover the player and support him, because he hasn't been playing well for a while. He's been exposed. People is targeting him, and maybe he's being the scapegoat of the whole thing. That's not good. I mean, and when we are in a moment where mental health it's a topic in Argentina, what happened last week with Morro Garcia, I think there's further implications on what's going on with Soto. I think we need to protect the player, whether he's good or not to play for Racing. It's up to Pizzi to find out. But I've been reading social media recently, and today it was just disgusting. I feel sorry for the guy. I think we need to protect him. I think Pizzi needs to do something about it. What happened to Soto yesterday is just not normal. Like, and that is because there's no confidence. There's other elements in his game that are not working out. I don't know why. I'm not a psychologist, but I think there's an element there that has to be reviewed. And Pizzi needs to make an assessment and protect the player. First, protect the player, then try to improve him. But to keep exposing Soto under this situation, I think it's pointless. I think he's going to end his career. And I don't want that. He's a Racing fan at the end of the day. He's a guy that everyone likes because he likes the club. So, number one, protect the player. Number two, try to improve him. That's what I think.
I mean, why was he still out there? Like, he was clearly struggling so. And again, like you say, it was a really bad mistake on the goal. I'm not ripping him apart for it. It was a bad mistake. He's better than that.
Yeah.
But why was he still out there? He was being bombarded. Like everything Racing was going down his side. Everything Banfield was going down his side. So just
they target his back basically, because Pizzi tried to push with the fullbacks, play with the fullbacks really high. they realized that really quickly, and then the only thing Banfield was doing and did the entire match was play long balls on Soto's back. And that's how the first goal came, basically. Although Soto was there and made a mistake, it was a long ball that he had to kind of close down, and well, he made a horrible mistake. But I don't know. I think something has to be done. Poor guy. I think he needs to be protected.
Yeah.
Rod?
No, same thing. Yeah, really good statement from Nacho. But even more, like, I don't understand this type of game. You know, the player he did the fault. Why you don't have somebody from the inferiores? You know, that can replace him, because he played the whole game. Huh? Correct. Yeah. I don't understand, like, after the goal, maybe you wait a little bit, so you are not like, okay, I'm changing you directly after the goal. But I don't know, around like 60 minutes, 70, bring un inferiores. I mean, like, that's something you have to know before the game. Don't wait that there is this game and somebody is like Soto, like again, at the end and in the bucket. And that you're like, oh, maybe the next game I will bring somebody from inferiores. I'm pretty sure you had somebody from the youth team that you could bring to Banfield, and if something is wrong, you can just replace him. But poor guy, he did this, and he played the 90 minutes. So the guy they were like, oh, we can really target this guy because he played the whole game. Come on, that's another fault from Pizzi. It's his first game, but please,
It's not his first game in his career.
You can see it if we are seeing it in front of the computer, of the TV, whatever, and you know that it's not the first game of Soto that is doing wrong. I remember, like, from Libertadores and the other cup, they were already on Twitter, for example, already like targeting this guy. Just take somebody from the youth team, and that's it. He will do not maybe better, but they will be like, oh, it's a guy from youth team, it's fine. But Soto now, it's like Nacho said on social media, you can be against a player. I mean, like we are doing it, like, like ha ha ha, it's funny. But some people on Twitter, they are not just playing with him. They were like really hard on him.
Is that a big now? Like, because again, my social media and Spanish game not amazing at the moment. Has that been a very big thing? Like, people getting on Soto. I'll be honest. I retweeted quite an amusing. What I found was an amusing tweet.
Yeah.
It was a pretend conversation between Mena and Soto, and it was Mena saying,
That's a joke one, but I've seen some of them are pretty bad.
Is it like just really vile, brutal stuff?
Yeah, I mean they're talking about the player not having the skills to play even professional football. I mean some horrible stuff.
Okay, all right. It's rubbish, stupid stuff. I hate that. That's so dumb. When people are like, "Oh, he's terrible. You can't play the game," or clearly he can because he's a professional athlete.
Yeah, I mean to get to first division, it's quite tough.
You got to be quite good. You don't fluke your way into playing Federation. Second goal, I don't have any notes on it because I tried to pretend it didn't happen, and actually completely forgotten it out of my brain, which is probably the best place for it to be. I just remember it was really, really ugly. I did tweet, what is the Spanish for clown show? And I got a couple of really kind Argentine correspondents helping me out. Let me double check. But Nacho, can you just remind us what the hell went on?
During the match? Sorry,
the second goal.
Oh, the second goal. I just can't remember the second goal. What was it? Well, I think Racing was desperate, trying to get the equalizer, left a lot of space, and it was like a three chances in one that Banfield had. One of them was cleared just before he went over the line by Sigali, I think, and then Galopo pick up the loose ball and just smash it. But yeah, I think it was, in a way, everyone knew that ball was. Well, I saw that coming. I mean, Racing was feeling so much pace that I thought it was a consequence of just committing too many players with kind of no organization, no nothing basically, and I knew the defense was going to be caught out in a counter attack, and that's basically what happened. It was a counter attack. Players wasn't committed too many players. Banfield are quite a interesting team in the way how they counter attack. They although they defend with a lot of players, the transition from defense to attack is really good. It's probably their biggest strength, and yeah, I think it could have been more goals actually.
I got one that I'm pretty sure translates to just F them all, so I'm not going to repeat that. But the other one, Gol de Racing, the Twitter is at Goldeawed. Pachasada sería literal.
Yeah, Pachasada, correct.
Or Murga sería más conceptual.
Murga, it's Murga. Yeah, we use it in the football. Yeah, I guess in the football context, it's like a clown show. Yeah, although Murga is more related to the Uruguayan carnival. It's like music and dance. It's like classic from the Rio de la Plata. Yeah.
Is this more like real Platense beef?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, fine.
Yeah.
He also tweets at me, "Pésimo debut y momentos de cambio." So.
Yeah, I think.
You might want to translate that.
A momento de cambio is like, it's the right time to go through changes and it's a transition period. But yeah, I think it is. I think we just need to be patient, not lose our heads, and just try to give Pizzi time. He's bringing new players. He might need 6 months to get the squad to a level where he wants to be, and I just don't want to become again that club that is a revolving doors of managers. I think we need to avoid that.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Also, like the one thing that I want, and Rod, I'll let you go in a second as I speak. The one thing I want is just I want to see us attack and try and get a bloody goal and shoot and some shots from the area. And I do recognise that what I'm asking for, in some ways, is easier said than done. But there was, for me, from the word go yesterday, there was none of that drive, that emphasis that we have seen under Becasese, under Caldet, going back further than that, even under Facundo Sava, dare I say the name. You know? There was just, that's the football that I associate more with Racing and would really like to see again, because 3 shots on target is just ugly. And they're like statistical shots on target. Like if any of those go in, like keeping is having a word with.
Yeah, no, we don't have midfielder. We saw it yesterday. The difference, the space between the defense and the attack was pretty huge. Nobody was organizing the game like Lisha was doing it at the end when he was like a little bit like a 10. When you know that this guy can't he doesn't have the speed that he had in the past, so he was like a little bit behind Svitanic and the other striker. Nobody replaced him. We don't have a leader yet. Nobody can scream and organize the team when it's going wrong like yesterday. And I think, like Nacho said, it will be a transitional tournament. I don't think we will have a surprise. I think we will finish like in a quiet, decent, let's say, I don't think we can say a decent place, but we will be in the middle, and this year will be like new players coming. Maybe we will have some pretty good youth player, like maybe Alcaraz, that will come and surprise everybody. But again, yesterday we played against Banfield that did a really great tournament just before. We were that they still have to play this final for the Sudamericana 2022. So I mean, against Banfield now it's the life of Racing that we are struggling. One day it's like everything is green, and the other day everything is black, and we are really sad. So we will have to be patient, like we always did with the Racing. That's maybe something we like to suffer too. So let's see the next game against Aldo Zivi.
Yep, Aldo Zivi.
Yeah, and the new coach Fernando Gago. Let's see these two.
Yes.
Yes. I
They
really
were
want.
playing today, right?
He's playing now, no? Currently against.
Yeah, I'm going to check the score.
I think he's playing against Godoy Cruz.
Ooh, that's an emotional charged game, no doubt.
Yeah. I
It
think.
was it.
No, I don't know if there
I'm
is.
checking.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, whilst they're doing
They
internet corner.
lost.
Oh, hello. We've got a score live update.
Yeah, Aldo Civi lost 2-1 against
2-1.
Godoy Cruz.
Okay. Oh, positive for us, potentially. So a couple of just little notes around the game, because
Yeah.
I like to look at things from a slightly different point of view. Cvitanic playing against his old club, he got a nice little framed jersey.
It was the only one I saw. Huh? Two other players from.
Soto got one without a number, and
because he helped the club.
and who was the other one? There was one
Schelotto.
more.
Schelotto.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
Schelotto, it's
Schelotto.
yeah, I think it's an academy. Yeah, I think he came to the Banfield Academy. He never played for Banfield though.
So Schelotto, he also got a nice jersey. Of course, one of my favourites of all time, Luciano Lolo. He was out there playing for Banfield. He
played quite well.
He played really well, yeah. And he tried to score a volley, and then I think he had to go off with cramp. He got in the cart.
Yeah.
Pichot tried to help him out. It didn't really help much, but also, listen. No slander here, though he was completely anonymous yesterday, as was so many of Racing. What was the other one? Oh, and Banfield, of course, in their quite horrible bruised banana kit, which is I know it's a throwback. I know it's a part of history, so I love it.
Yeah.
But good Lord, it's a combination, especially with the all grey keeper kit, which is like just straight out of the modern era.
And
they really designed the keeper kit, right?
There was like a V, no, on the back at the top, in shape or something like this in another in black or in white.
It was. I mean, that's tough to play against. That's got to be difficult to play against. You've got to look at all of that coming at you.
Yeah.
It's mind games, Nacho Tierno. This is what. What's your team called? Your London team, the team that you are in charge of, water.
That I play for.
Yes.
Polytechnic.
That's the one, Polytechnica. I was going to call them Academia. I don't know why. Polytechnica. You need to get yourself some wacky kits for.
Yeah, I want to change the color of the club because it's a red shirt. So I don't enjoy it. And actually,
and Max would be on board.
I play with the red one, but I have my Racing shirt under in every single match because I cannot wear a red shirt on my skin. So I need another layer.
Perfect.
I do it. I actually do it.
We know you do.
Blue
Mr. Penguin slide. I made a note of the substitutions. Melgarejo and Lobera came on early in the second half for Cvitanic and Alcaraz. Cvitanic, we will see. We'll see how he goes. I'm glad he signed an extension because we have a day of the strikers. But the fact of the matter is,
a new leader. Maybe that can be a new leader. I don't know.
I think it was a wrong decision, and I know most of the Racing fans will disagree with me, but I think Cvitanic is a player who, unfortunately, I think the demands of the game he's too old for what the demands of the games are. I don't think he's been able to play 90 minutes for quite a while already. You can see he's gained substitute after 60 minutes of football.
Yeah.
When I see him on the pitch, I see a slow player. I'm concerned. I don't think he can be the number 9. And I feel sorry because I think has been a fantastic player. I think he did the job for Racing because when we We signed him for a reason. He delivered, and we need
100%.
to be thankful with that because he was a key player to, especially for the last part of that league that we won. He scored some key goals, and the partnership with Lisandro and the understanding he had with Lisandro so quickly was fantastic. But but I'm sorry, but I think his time as a professional player is probably it's over, and it's so hard to say. But he hasn't scored in more than a year. I don't know. I struggle to see him as a leader. He might be an important person for the squad. So happy if that's the decision to keep him. But just to give him the leadership of the team, I think is too much.
Alcaraz also came off at that time, the 18-year-old.
Good.
Again, didn't do a huge amount, but glad to see getting more minutes. I think
he needs minutes. Yeah,
definitely. I think he's going to come. Well, he's very young. It can go a lot of ways, but I'm confident he'll do okay.
Yeah.
Quadra out, Reinero on. Within 10 seconds, Reinero a yellow card. Wasn't even okay, it was a foul, but it wasn't even a yellow card.
It was a late tackle.
This is Argentine football. Shut up. That's never a yellow card.
No,
that referee is a disgrace to the fine culture of Argentine footballers beating the garbage out of each other. I'm a bit upset. Rojas also came off. Chancalay came on, and the game came to life. Kind of.
Yeah, he was good.
He was good. He was really good.
Best shot on target. Best crossing opportunity came from him. It was a shot on target. Decent shot. I think Arboleda had it under control. But
yeah. And once another Arboleda clean sheet against Racing, so good for him, I guess.
Yeah, he's one clean sheet per year against us, right?
Yeah, so I don't watch much Banfield. So in my head, he's this great goalie. He's like, get him in the get him as Colombia #1, but you keep telling me he's not so good.
I think he is going to be a really, really good keeper. I think he's only 24. He's been around for ages.
God,
he's only 24. Young? I think he's going to be a really, really good keeper. He still makes mistakes here and there, but he has everything to be a really good keeper.
You know my opinion. I think he's bloody marvelous. So.
Yeah, I think he's a very good keeper.
Yeah. Is that any more on last week's or last night's game rather?
I don't know. I still want to see what Pizzi's style is. Yeah. Yesterday, it didn't give me an indication. I don't think he has a defined way of his teams. Like if you ask me, how would you describe Pizzi's style? I don't think I can give you a description of it. So let's wait and see. I think he tried a 4-1-3-2, the same kind of Korea shape, probably in order to compensate the lack of goals that he saw under BKSS, where we were playing with just one striker. So he tried to play with two strikers.
Who was the second striker? Because the way that interesting. Because the club sent it out as a
4-3-3, like a 4-3-3, right?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we play a 4-1. So Dominguez was the defensive center mid, and then three midfielders ahead of Dominguez, which they kind of rotate a little bit their positions. So probably Miranda was playing closer to Dominguez. Initially, Rojas was on the right, and Alcaraz on the left. But I think they swapped position at some point. And then two up front, which was Quadra, like a second striker, and Sitrinic as a classic kind of target man, number 9. I saw that shape, but I agree the three, Alcaraz and Miranda and Rojas, rotated. They didn't have a kind of fixed position in the pitch, and I think it didn't work out. But that was what Pizzi tried.
So are we going to get the hashtag start Chancalay going? Is that what we're going to do?
I think he might start next match. I think Lovera will start definitely. I think Quadra is going to get dropped.
How far away do we think Schelotto is?
I think Schelotto is going to start the next match as well.
I was a bit surprised that he didn't feature yesterday.
He only had a week of training because he had to self-isolate after arriving from Europe.
Good
So
point.
I don't think he had enough trainings, and they didn't want to risk him because he hasn't been playing for a while. His last match was May last year, I think.
Gosh.
So so I think it might take a couple of weeks until we see him, but because of Pichu performance yesterday, I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later.
This is going to sound like a really obvious question. I'm deadly serious because I didn't see him play football yesterday. I saw nothing.
Well, that's
genuinely. And that's
my
my question. Like, was he bad? I don't think he made. I don't remember defensive mistakes.
No,
I don't remember him going forward with the ball.
no,
at
Mal-
all.
But that's the thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
fullbacks are such a key position in this game, in more game, that you actually need active fullbacks. And in the way Pizzi played yesterday, where he asked the fullback to push really, really high, if that doesn't work, then you end up with a really slow game, and that's what basically
That's
happened.
what I ended up with. Yeah.
So I think we need some changes there.
Yeah. Well, don't we have, is Cáceres a right back?
Not naturally, but yeah, I think he can be deployed as a right back.
Yeah, I really want to see the next 11s on the pitch, and specifically for Soto. I really want to see what will happen for him.
Yeah, well, it depends. I mean, Mena is there's a kind of problem with his contract. Yeah,
but youth player just to replace 1 or 2 games, just the time that make his mind again for the pitch, and
I think it would be. I would expect Pizzi to make a decision there, as I say, at least to protect the player. The problem is Mena is not available. The other player that might be able to be deployed in that position is Prado, and that's it.
I thought you were going to say Lucas Orban.
He hasn't played as a left back for like 10 years. He used to, but he hasn't played as a left back for a long, long time. I don't think he has the pace to do it anymore. But
do we just not have any kids coming through who are defenders? I mean that deadly seriously, because for the longest time, who was the last defensive? Schlegel and
no, we don't.
And Jonathan Cabral. They're the last 2 defenders I can think of through the academy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone says Machuca is really good, right? But he's too young.
How young's too young?
17. For a centre back, he's quite young.
It's quite young. Well, hang on. How old is Paolo Maldini? All right, granted, not a centre back, but still.
Yeah, he's quite special, right?
I mean, rumour has it he's the best defender in the history of the game. You know, but...
yeah, good try.
Hey, if you're good enough, you're old enough.
But that's true. We didn't have like pretty famous centre back or defender. We had pretty good strikers, midfielder or wingers, but since long time we didn't have like a strong.
No, and I think before Cabral, it was Cabral's brother, basically. That was a long, long time ago. So yeah, I think that the academy hasn't produced any good defenders that I can think of for quite good years already.
Yeah,
good goalies though. Obviously, Musso killing it in Europe.
Yeah, and attacking players. Like if you look at since Milito until these days, we've been a machine of producing attacking players.
Yeah.
So the glamour positions were doing great, as in goalkeeper and attackers, but in the gritty positions,
yeah.
All right, wonderful. Is there any more with the Banfield game?
No, I think we are not happy with it, but we need to be patient, right? Early days. I don't want to see, as I say, Pizzi leaving the club quickly. It's the last thing we want to see.
No. The one thing that, and I put this in one of our group chats last night. When was the last time we scored? Because I've seen a lot of in my perception, lots of scoreless friendlies and stuff like that.
Well, in the Copa Maradona, we scored against Newell's, we scored quite a lot. I can't remember. Let me quickly check. But we beat Newell's and what was it? Arsenal. I can't even remember. What were the?
We
definitely beat Newell's.
Did we beat Arsenal? I think we did. Didn't you and me commentate that game?
We beat Newell's 3-1. And before that, we scored 6 against Godoy Cruz.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that one. That was a fun game.
Yeah.
That was a fun time. Also, the highlights the league put out with no commentary. As a commentator, that hurts me. But as a fan, it's so good. Because everything is just so loud. Especially with no fans in the stadium. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
If you've not seen that the official league highlights of games, please watch them. They are awesome.
Yeah, okay.
And Conmobile did the same. Anyway, right. Next up, we have Aldosivi, who lost today, just now, in fact, 2-1 to Godoy Cruz. What are our thoughts, gentlemen?
I think it's a game that we should win, but I'd rather not think of the result. I just prefer a good performance. If we win playing ugly, I wouldn't be happy. I think we need to think about performing, getting the team together, sort out the issues that have been around for a while, rather than a result. We will probably get a result against Aldosivi. That would be the natural thing to see, but you never know.
Yeah, it's a game to win. It's a really small team. They just lost today. Normally you have to win, but I mean at this moment, I'm sad to say it, but just the victory will count. Like if we win 1-0 last minute goal by somebody, I mean at this moment I don't think we will see some pretty nice techniques and a pretty good 5-6-0 or 2-3-0. I think it will be a 1-0 or 2-1, something that we don't want. But at this moment, it's a new coach, new team, new players coming. Nobody in the stadium, so let's see.
Yeah, it's a good point. Actually, you're right. A win will help, but yeah, that's true.
I want to see 10 shots on target. That's all I want. I want shots on target.
Shots on targets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was one guy from the Filial today that put the message in the group saying we need a number 9 that at least missed chances. No, I'm not asking a number 9 that scored. At least a number 9 that missed chances.
Well, to be fair, we just lost one of those, but yeah, that's no big shakes.
Yeah.
Cristaldo's just gone. Final thing with him. Good, bad, indifferent.
Indifferent. I think
that face says everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, just the name that looks like Cristiano. So maybe at the we were like, oh my God, he's got like a similar name that Cristiano Ronaldo. Can be good, and at the end, he's like Montoya. It was like, no.
I think. Look, it's a guy that I think the club was a bit uncomfortable, going in a kind of uncomfortable position after what happened in his private life, because of domestic violence. He was involved in a kind of domestic violence episode. I don't know what happened with that legally.
No,
but there was evidence there, a video from his former girlfriend accusing him of domestic violence, etc. I think his days at the club since then have been probably over. He stayed in the club for one more year, but he didn't play too many minutes. And look, it's a guy it's another case of a guy with mental health problems in the past. He went through depression.
Yeah.
So again, we are talking about the same thing. If it works for him and if it's better for him and News is the place for him to become a better person, and it's a second chance for him in life, well, then that's probably what should be done. But I have mixed feelings about it. I don't really agree with the decision of the club of keeping him in the first place.
No.
So seeing him departing is for me is probably the right thing to do. there's the issue of domestic violence should be tackled not by the club, but by the legal system, etc.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah.
And pure and you know the football is what the football is. Like he didn't score. He just sort of was a body. He just I don't know what he did. But the main issue is what you've said is this domestic violence. And it's just not acceptable. He shouldn't have been around our football club after that fact. Like it was pretty bloody clear what had occurred, or at least what the end result of what had occurred was.
Yeah. Clubs are in a difficult position because you can't go beyond the justice system, right? So in a way, but you need to have a protocol, and I think the club at that moment now there is a protocol in place to manage this situation, which is good. At that time, I think the club was a little bit unprepared, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I think now we are in a better position, and if the same happened, I think it would be treated with much more a professional approach.
But nothing happened. Nothing happened from the league. So I think about the NFL when this happens, and it happens a lot in the NFL because that is a problematic league.
Yeah.
The players get handled by the league, the legal system, maybe, and clubs over here or over in Argentina. I'm guessing, did anything come of it? Because I don't remember hearing anything.
Well, last week there was a big news in Argentina that 2 players from Vélez had been charged because of sexual assaults, I think.
Yes, I heard about this.
So then Vélez triggered, and Vélez is one of the first clubs to have a protocol in place and a department specially prepared to deal with these situations. So they triggered the protocol. Both players have been removed from the first team. Basically, they are not they're not training with the first team, and apparently their teammates have complained about it. So the club is facing some pushback from even the squad, the first team squad. So it's such a difficult situation. I think Vélez is doing the right thing. They have a protocol. There's professional people looking at the whole thing, and they are contribute. There's a collaboration with the justice system to find out what's going on. You can't do more than that. I mean, that's
no, that sounds perfectly reasonable to me. I think that's going to pretty much do it for this week's short, quick wrap up of last night's game of Racing Club UK. That has gone on for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Rod, what's going on with you? What's new with Rod?
I'm still. We are still doing some works on the Filial in France, trying to always to motivate and convince some new followers to follow us on Twitter. It's more difficult because as maybe it's the same case in England. Many people are more watching Boca and River Plate, but we are still trying to do this. And of course, in the same time I follow the football in Venezuela. So I have another account that talks in French about the football in Venezuela. So it's a lot of work, but hopefully in the upcoming weeks we will see some nice game, something that we missed a lot in the last few weeks. That's it, and hopefully a good victory from the Racing men in 1 week.
Speaking of, it's interesting you say that the Racing men, because Nacho, when are the women back? The women are back end of Feb, I think.
Yeah, they are, and they play a friendly today against San Martín de Bursaco. It was basically 3 friendlies of 25 minutes, and we absolutely smashed San Martín de Bursaco.
Wait, what? What is that? 3 25-minute friendlies?
It was 4-0, 3-0, and 1-0. The 1-0 was basically our reserve team playing against San Martín de Bursaco. So I guess San Martín de Bursaco is nowhere near Racing's level, but I mean, it's the club is investing in the women's team. A couple of new signings. I'm sure we can cover that in the next pod with much more information. There's some people joining the coaching staff as well. So I think we need to spend good half an hour on those updates sorry, I keep losing my. So I'd rather leave that for the next one.
Absolutely.
30 minutes to talk about. I'm going to tell you something. The new signing used to play in the US, so I'm going to try to get her in the pod. So, but let's keep it for the the next one.
Let's we'll have words with friend of the pod, Natalie Hjunkus, captain of our football team, Natalie Hjunkus.
And she's also part of the national team. She has been called for the national team again. So yeah, let's try to get Natalie and her new teammates. But I would suggest to cover that next time because there's a lot of big news. Today we talk about the men, and next time we will talk about the women.
And Nacho, you're doing incredible work over on our Twitter, Racing Club UK. There it is in the top corner if you missed it. So, Nacho, anything exciting going on the social medias of late, or just keeping people in touch?
We've been trying to keep Instagram and Twitter active during the pandemic, just to entertain our Filial followers. The Filial is growing. I think our WhatsApp group Filial is very, very active, which is good. Unfortunately, we are still in lockdown and we cannot do any kind of events, but we will have one asado, and Darren, you need to be here.
Oh, are you kidding me? Yes,
okay,
absolutely. I still remember the last one. Look at this.
Exactly. That's it.
That was a good time.
And now that I think now it's probably twice that number of people in the Filial, so it's good news.
Nice.
We are getting there. We're going places. So you can follow Nacho on Twitter at Nacho Tier. Follow Rod on Twitter. Sorry.
Don't worry, everybody say Rob here.
Do you not know why? Let me explain why I made that mistake.
Yeah,
It's because of the B in your Twitter name, and I put it in the wrong place because I had it in my mind. It was like Globrod. So Globrod.
Is it? What's your name? Rodolphe or Rodolphe?
Yeah. But here in Canada, because it's too complicated, I'm just saying Rod. But people, I'm still talking to me like, "Hey." They're saying my surname, they think it's my name. So they're like, "Hi, Wilhelm." I'm like, "This is my surname, guy." Yeah.
Darren, what about you? What you've been doing? A lot of basketball and what else?
Yeah. Basketball continues at pace. The London Lions, the best country in the country. The best country? Jeez, man. The best team in the country? Who's to say? Would I say that? Absolutely. Come watch some London Lions on the BBL player. Listen to me. Listen to Nigel Lloyd. Obviously, Focus Hoops. We've got all that going. Amazing work this week with the Women's Cup final. More content about all the women's basketball every single Thursday. Kaz and Dan Show, 8 p.m. YouTube and Facebook for the Focus Hoops. We're covering it all. WNBA. We've had Kaz in loads of WNBA free agency press conferences. We've got Euro League, we've got British League, we've got the English League. It's all going off. We also get to pick the best player in England every week. So that's really exciting, working with Basketball England. So yes, Nacho, in short, lots of stuff going on.
It's a pleasure to work with the biggest basketball journalist of the UK.
If Dan Rutledge heard you say that,
it's a privilege. It is a privilege. Just before we go, some news on not good news on basketball Racing. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic and the financial crisis, Racing opted out, and they are not going to be part of this year tournament. However, they will not get relegated because it was an optional. So they opted out. It was opt in or opt out. They opted out. They won't be participating this season, but they will keep the place in the league. However, what's going to happen with the players? I guess that's a sad news, right? That's really bad news for the players. So unfortunately, it's really bad news. I know Darren used to you commentated a couple of games for the Filial, games that you could watch on TV. So it is what it is. Some bad news, but hopefully the basketball team is back soon.
Yeah. Also, just another kit side note. You know I love kits. Our basketball kit this year, stunning, beautiful. Luciano Wade got sent a jersey, so that's good for him, I guess. Where's my jersey?
Yeah,
very nice.
I'm going to criticize a little bit the campaign around it, because they were promoting a shirt and they opted out.
There was no team. There was no team to wear it.
So I think it's
Yeah.
a bit unfortunate. I think that there's completely lack of timing on that campaign, from whether it was Kappa or the club, I don't know, but completely out of place. I think it wasn't a moment to run a campaign like that. But just a personal opinion.
You're all allowed one. Rod, thank you so much for joining us.
Guys,
We need to
Thank you, Rod.
have you in again. So that's going to do it. Thank you so much for checking us out. Make sure that you join us next time when we will be breaking down Racing Club Aldosivi, if we're not back before that time. Thank you so much. Make sure that you subscribe to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. We will talk to you very, very soon.